the standpoint of climate alarmists, the critical issue is none other than a catastrophe of great proportions, ultimately involving the survival of man and of the planet. This is complete nonsense. What we find in contrast is a profound ignorance of science, even how science works. In one study, half the graduates of Harvard University could not correctly say why the seasons change. This is not a matter of memorization, but a matter of basic curiosity about a fundamental scientific process important to everyone. Should be of interest to everyone, too. For the Oregonian editorial board, that I deal with occasionally, and physicist Richard Mueller, the central issue was the warming over the 20th century. But that's a bogus issue also, because most scientists agree that this warming of about 0.8 of 1 degree is about 0.8 of 1 degree centigrade. Similarly, there is no dispute that carbon dioxide is a greenhouse gas, which is much less important than the main greenhouse and climate gas, water vapor. It may also surprise you to know that there is a little dispute as to the warming possible from a doubling of the concentration of carbon dioxide in the atmosphere. The dispute arises when we consider consequences or feedbacks of this warming. Alarmists point to a strong positive water vapor feedback, while skeptics maintain that our climate system is inherently stable against such perturbations because of negative feedbacks. Chuck Weiss will address this in a good deal more detail than I am here. Most scientists who are aware of the global temperature data agree that we saw an increase after the Great Pacific Climate Shift of 1977. Steve was mentioning that you'll have Mantua here to talk about the PBL. But that, since 1977, was moderated by several huge volcanic eruptions until they ceased in the late 1990s. Thereafter, the global temperature has fluctuated with essentially no trend. When climate alarmists cannot talk about the logic in the data, they often try to question our scientific credentials or imply that we're in the employ of the oil companies. These are bogus issues. My thesis tonight is simple. Virtually all of what climate alarmists put forth as science is not. Some is half correct, some is incorrect, and too much is just plain nonsense or worse.